Welcome, Blades. It is the Sheffield United way. My name is Hal. In today's match preview, you are going to get Blades and Coventry team news for the Boxing Day 3 p.m. clash, as well as last time out, player connections, and wait until the end because we will have a score prediction. Is it just me? Oh no. Luckily, Ollie is here alongside me wearing what looks to be a very festive jumper.
Gotta be the Christmas jumper. It is that time of year. I said it yesterday on our predictions video. If you've not been able to see it, please do go and check it out. But yeah, I'm feeling somewhat Christmassy this year. So it's Christmas jumpers all the way. This is a boxer dog in a Christmas hat, which is my second of the streaming period.
Yes, and Boxer Dog, because the game is on Boxing Day, which we are talking about. It doesn't just happen, doesn't just fall together, this preview. It's carefully choreographed.
Oh.
Literally everything I say, Ollie already knows the next sentence because it's all scripted. All scripted. Now, big shout out to our members, to NordVPN, who sponsor this channel, that keep the lights on at Sheffield United Way Towers. Thank you to you. Do check them out. They can do wonders for you if you're in, say, Cyprus, and it needs to look like you're in the UK. Also, Parrot Peel for sponsoring the channel, a musical ensemble, 98 members in 14 countries. They're a little bit different from most artists. They have an album out, Stick or Twist, which is unique for every listener. No two people get the same album. How does that work? Find out by going to parrotpeel.com, which is parrot as you'd imagine, the animal, and PEEL.com. Ollie, I want to dive straight in to the last game as we have our members rolling along the bottom. Wigan away, a tough one. But first thing I'm going to ask you, did you expect us to come back from the international break with our terrible record of coming back from the international break with 2 wins on the board?
I did not. I didn't think we would win 2 in a row because we're terrible after international breaks. And I especially didn't want us to win both because we were live on Sky and we are terrible live on Sky. So it's always nice to come back, get 6 points. I thought for about an hour, it was a very, very good performance from United. I thought we were really in charge, really in control of the game. I thought we were creating a lot of chances. I thought we were really forcing mistakes from their back line. I think Toure changed the game. I think he made 2 really good subs just after our second goal. And we were a little bit slow to react to that. So that's the only thing that's niggling at the back of my mind is that's 2 second halves in a row now where we've let the game drift just a little bit. But no, overall, 6 points and we can't complain too much.
You're right. You shouldn't really complain when you got 6 points on the board. Good to see John Egan scoring back on the score sheet after 15 months. Deserved at that early stage. And Dye looked really bright. McAtee could have had a goal. Kieran Clark had his shirt taken off in the area. It was all happening. But after that second, by the way, lovely left foot shot across the goal for the skipper, 2 in 2. I thought, like you said, the Blades really took the foot off the gas and allowed Wigan back in. What do you reckon then to someone like, let's say, Wes, not looking like Wes?
Yeah, it weren't his best. He looked shaky, I thought, from the start. It was a little bit concerning. I think, though, everyone's going to have a day like that. And if you're going to have a day like that, have it on a day where you're playing against someone you
Careful.
in the best going forwards, shall we say. I don't want to be too disparaging to Wigan because I do quite like them. But yeah, they're not really a team that's going to put you to the sword and score with chances and really punish every mistake. But yeah, hopefully he'll be a lot more on it this week. I don't know if it's rust. I don't know if he was playing with something on his mind. But yeah, I'd hope he can be a little bit sharper come Boxing Day because I feel as though this is a much sterner test for him.
Be a bit more Billy on Boxing Day. If you want to be a member, you've seen it scroll along twice now. Click join if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, do take a moment to subscribe to the channel. All you need is a Google Mail account. It is free. Ollie, we're talking about Coventry. Last time out, what can you share?
Oof, God, this was an absolute stinker, if I'm being honest with you guys. I believe this was Slavisa Jokanović's last home game in charge of the Blades. And it was a very typical Savica Jokanovic Sheffield United performance. It was 0-0. And I think the only notable thing that happened in all of my notes is that Wes started. He came in for the injured Robin Olsen, and I believe never gave him back the shirt. Wes became our undisputed number one. That is one thing to celebrate. There was no other highlights, nothing else worth talking about. Just a dreadful, dreadful game.
Yeah, I do remember that. And they seem to be a bit of a bogey side in recent years, Coventry. One of my favourite ever games, actually, was Coventry in 1998 in the Cup. That penalty shootout win. And actually, if you went to Wigan and you got the match day programme, I'm in it talking about that. They did a little interview with me. It's strewn with errors. Strewn, nice. Ollie. They got Respect so much wrong. They've got the date wrong that I'm talking about of that game. They got my first game wrong. They've got a picture of Carl Bradshaw and it says Mitch Ward underneath.
Nice.
Errors galore. But still, nice to be included. Yeah, got to respect the programme. Jack Robinson is back fit. He's an option for this game. Ishmael Koulibaly is back in training. Ollie, his birthday is on Christmas Day. If you've got your birthday. It is. It's sting. You've got your birthday on Christmas Day. Double presents is one way of looking at it, but then July would be ideal. Hecky has stated that Ben Osborne is getting better week by week. He has a hamstring, ... injury. Flecky recovering after a clack in the leg. That was crack. That's the word I said. You definitely heard it. Now, when Hecky was asked about the timescale on Rhian Brewster and Reece Norrington Davis, and boy, my heart still breaks for RND not making it to the World Cup. You don't know how often for Wales that's going to come around. He said, and I quote, "I don't ask. They are fit when they are fit. They are not forgotten about, but some come back earlier. Some have setbacks. You are always led on the players. You just wait until they are on the grass." He never misses an opportunity to mention the grass. The players, I'm pleased to say, will have Christmas Day off. So while we're talking about who's going to play and who's not going to play, here's Nick with his predicted team. And it's the kind of Nick we like, a silent one in the bottom corner. There is Wes in goal. How do you pronounce Anel's surname, Ollie?
Ahmedhodzic.
It's close. Egan with his 50p head, goal scoring. Look, Ollie, all I'm saying is I asked him how to say it off air when we interviewed him. He told me. I then repeated it verbatim when we started, and I reckon he was having me on because he was like, "Nah, that's not it." Nah. And Nick's been having a bit of fun with me on Twitter about that as well. Kieran Clark, shirt off or shirt on? Time shall tell. George Baldock, right wing back. Low, Nick has gone with at left wing back. Ollie, people have been saying to me that Ender Stevens' time is sadly coming to an ender. How do you feel?
I don't respect the pun, but I do respect the question, to be honest. I feel as though it is possibly time for Stevens. For me, look, I've always been a huge fan. I actually really liked him. First season, when he took some pelters, I actually voted for him as my player of the year. Our first season in the Premier League, thought he was excellent that season. But unfortunately, whether it's lockdown, whether it's just not come back the same player. And I feel as though he's probably now third choice for the position. I think Max Lowe, Norrington Davis are now ahead of him. And if they are getting back to full fitness, I'd like to see Lowe in the team.
It'd be really interesting with Kieran Clark playing this well. And if we had a fully fit RND and a fully fit Max Lowe to see how Hecky shaped that defence, that would be absolutely fascinating. Good options to have. Let us know in the comments what you reckon. Ender Stevens, personally, I still back him. Norwood, and I like him a lot. I said at the start of the season, of all our loan signings, Tommy Doyle would be the best one. Sander Berge, what did you reckon to Sander's performance against Wigan?
20 minutes, thought he was excellent. I thought he did a very strong performance, punishing their mistakes, forcing some of their mistakes, really pushing forward and showing his energy. But then he did I'm sounding very negative today. I know I've called myself negative Blade before, but I'm really leaning into it. But I thought for 70 minutes, he just disappeared off the pitch. I thought he did a very typical Sander Berge performance where he is excellent when he is on it, but he's just not able to be on it for the full 90 minutes. Obviously, he's coming back off a long-term injury. So it may be that we possibly could have been doing with subbing him off, maybe just taking a little bit of that time out of his legs so that he can have some recovery. And so, yeah, I'd like to see him be able to dominate games for longer than he is capable of doing at the moment. Hopefully that's something that's just going to come into his game as he gets fitter and fitter.
Well, there's an argument to be had for he needs minutes, so give him 90 so he's got 90 minutes in the legs. And there's an argument, absolutely. And in fact, I was saying it at the time. I think he needs to be replaced. So, yeah, I see both sides. Iliman Ndiaye, who is just one of the best Sheffield United players I have ever seen and continues to impress. He has players around him. He gets out of trouble. This man is integral to any result we will get against Coventry. And Nick has gone with that man scores goals, Billy Sharp, who is not too far away from 250 league career goals. Something special. He will go down, Billy Sharp, as a true Blades legend, and quite rightly so. Now, Ollie, talk us through, please, Coventry City.
Coventry City, indeed, as you referenced before, a little bit of a bogey team for us in recent times. They've got a couple of injuries affecting them. Kyle McFadzean and Matty Godden, both very good players who I like a lot, but I'm not expecting them to be back in time for this game, which, to be honest, I think is good news for us. Another player they've got out is Tyler Walker, but I don't think he'd get in their team anyway, to be honest. They might make a change. Obviously, they've played an extra game to us. They had to play Wednesday night. So it may be that they make a couple of changes, possibly Fankati Darbo coming back in at right wing back. But given their form, given they won the game midweek, I think they will probably keep with the same side. And it'll look something like Ben Wilson in goal, a back five of Harrison Burrows, Michael Rose, Callum Doyle, Jonathan Panzo, and Jake Bidwell. Midfield three of Gustavo Harmer, Ben Sheaf, and Jamie Allen. And then Callum O'Hare just behind Victor Gyökeres up front. Now, that is a very scary front line. I don't like Gyökeres playing against me because he's class. I did the video with Chris Wilder a few weeks ago. If you do get the opportunity, please go and check it out on League of 72. It was excellent. I had a fantastic day. But one of the things that he's really picked out in that video is that Wilder thinks that Gyökeres is the best player in this division. He loves him, thinks he's fantastic. And so he thinks he's the standout. He's definitely one that we've got to watch. And with O'Hare behind him, they are a very dangerous team.
Jamie Allen, for me, he's having a cracking season. And I've heard lots of Cov fans say he is the one. So you're right. There's lots of dangerous players we've got to keep an eye on. Gustavo Hamer can shoot from distance as well. Now, the opposition view from created by Roy's View. Go to roysviewfrom.com. Ollie, I want your thoughts on some of these. I'm going to just read out some comments that Coventry fans have said. And at the end, I'll just get you your immediate take. So here's some. They'll do their best to wind us up with lots of pushes, pulls, leaving a foot in. General let's call it poo-housery, like they always do. Gus should be able to rise above it, and I think we get a win. 2-0 for me. I also hate them. Mostly that Jay McEverly. I mean, they're on about that assault, of course, on Ramirez. I've come across an argument where a Sheffield United fan seems to think McBurney is better than Gyökeres and a better complete striker than any other in Britain outside the Premier League. I mean, I agree with that. Bernie is the best striker outside of anyone in the Premier League. Here's another one. I don't really like their fans. Give it loads to us when just under 400 went up after the Checker trade. Said nothing when we took 2,800 last season. It's so
I think get on well with Wednesday, wouldn't they? You know what I mean?
Ooh, who cares? The one team in our league I genuinely dislike, Partridge Shrug. A team I particularly hate losing to, fans completely equal to Sunderland fans for, how do I put this? Not niceness. You can see the actual word on the script, Ollie. I've got a feeling we'll do them over. Feeling confident again. I think we'll win. They're no better than us. And as Nick said on Twitter, they're no better than us. Just 6 places, 11 points, 13 goals and -2 conceded. Better off. But yeah, we're no better. Instant thoughts. Brackets feelings.
Oh God, I just mean like, why? I know they go out of the way, but just why? Some of these, they're no better than us. You were bottom for so long. It took them 8 games to get off bottom of the league because they were just rubbish. They've just been given a 5-point suspended sentence and they want to talk about how they're fantastic. You have got massive issues. I have personal issues with Coventry anyway. Just really don't like them.
I don't really like Cov. Is this a grudge match, Ollie? Is this a grudge match?
Do you know what's annoying is that they've come out and they've been like, I hate them. And I wanted to be like, oh, God, another team that hates us and we don't care. But I do care. Really don't like Coventry. This is my own issues, though. I can't really hold it against them, apart from for that one game when they looked like they might beat us and then decided to do some kind of weird pitch invasion and then lost the game. That was fun. But yeah, just a lot of very, very confident comments for a team that's had a very difficult season so far. They threw away a 3-goal lead last weekend. You know, they are in good form. They're a very good team. They're very dangerous. And with Gyökeres, with O'Hare, we've just hit on. They have a very strong starting 11. But we're not pushovers. We're not just another team they're going to come up against. We've had a really good season ourselves. There is an argument that they win this game. It's very possible. I'm not going into this thinking this will be a walkover for us, but also I don't think we're just going to roll over and let them tickle our bellies. This is probably a good game between 2 decent teams. Get back in your box and give us the respect we deserve.
How do you feel, Blades fans? Let us know in the comments after hearing what Cov fans reckon. The referee, it's only going to get worse for you, Ollie. Matthew Donoghue from Greater Manchester will referee Sheffield United versus Coventry on Boxing Day. Donoghue has taken charge of 15 matches in all competitions this season. He's given an average-ish 49 yellow cards, no reds, which is very surprising. And you've got to work hard to get a penalty from Donoghue. He's given just 2 penalties, which is on the low side. He was in charge of the Blades' 2-0 away win at Hull in September. He also oversaw United's 1-0 win at Cardiff in November. But he's probably best remembered for that refereeing display. Millwall's 2-1 win at the Lane last season, sending off Morgan Gibbs-White. But I think whilst we could argue that that was probably the correct decision, he got a few other things wrong, I thought, in that game, and generally made it quite a bit about him. You knew he was reffing, put it that way.
Yeah, I honestly, he had an absolute stinker in that game against Millwall last year. He just got so much wrong. It was ridiculous. So he's got to be better. That can't be his general level. So let's think he's got to be above that, because that was awful. It was one of the, I'm bitter today. I thought I was full of Christmas spirit.
I'll tell you where this is coming from. This is coming from not always getting your predictions right. Let's talk about the fact that you and Nick do a regular score predictions video. Sell it to me.
We do indeed. So we've been predicting every game in the Championship so far this season. And we've had our ups and downs. We've introduced the banker, which is always an interesting concept, an opportunity to get double points. And our viewers have been taking much better advantage of it than me and Nick have. Me and Nick have completely missed the mark with ours so far. But hopefully this week is the one where that changes. And hopefully I start to plug the gap a little bit, because he's getting a little bit of a lead on me. But I went for this to be, I said above, I think this is a really tough game. I think it's 2 very good teams meeting against each other. I think Coventry have got lots of dangerous attackers, but I think United, at home, one of the things that is my big theory for the weekend is that travelling away, sleeping away from your families on the evening of Christmas, not being able to celebrate properly, United have got the day off. They're at home. They're then going to come in the day after feeling fresh, full of the holiday spirit, and therefore I think it's the worst day to be travelling for an away game, and therefore I think it's a difficult one to predict, but I think United nick it in a very entertaining 3-2.
And Nick thinks it will be 2-1. I think we're going to have a really tricky game. Those comments from Cov fans don't inspire anything other than from you, pure hatred. But for me, I think that they have reason to be mildly confident. I think they are a decent side. I think they'll be galvanised as well as a team with this 5-point suspended sentence. We should probably talk about that if you have missed the news. Coventry City have been hit with a 5-point deduction, but as I say, suspended for the remainder of the 22-23 season as well as the 23-24 campaign. So not actually going to instantly impact them. But I do think the players will be like, right, we've got to put all of that aside, and I think they're going to be combined as a team. I could see this being 1 apiece. Sorry, but they are a bogey side, and we've already discussed that.
They are. No, I agree. We haven't got a great record against them. Is it not won in the last 3, is it? Obviously, they beat us 4-1 at their place last year. So it's certainly going to be a difficult game, but I do think it's one that if we turn up, we have the right players on the pitch, it's one that we can win.
let's look at player connections. So I'm going to throw one at you. You throw one at me. John Fleck.
Simon Moore.
Oh, more. How do you like it? Yeah, I met him at West Brom away in the League Cup this season. Also, I'll give you a man who's actually on that picture playing for Coventry, because why not? I'll steal that one. David McGoldrick.
Oh, we all love Dids. I don't know if they'll remember him particularly happily, but yes, very nice to remember. Dids, I'll go with one of our former academy lads who I referenced earlier. Not sure he ever played for United, but he definitely came through the academy, Kyle McFadzean.
Yeah, his brother definitely played for us, didn't he? And actually
played for us, didn't he?
Played for us and scored as well. But Kyle, no, didn't make a first team appearance. So as I often say to you when you're in the gym doing reps, 0. I will also say Leon Clark, and we will now ask you, dear viewer, to put yours in the comments below. Ollie's going to go and take a nice cold shower, and we are going to, because you're all rattled, I can tell. It's a Christmas spirit out the window. I will take this opportunity, though. It's gone. I'll take this opportunity, Ollie, to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much, Hal. Much appreciated. And of course, back to yourself. First Christmas in Cyprus. Hopefully you can find a way to really celebrate and enjoy.
Barbecue on the beach, mate. Now, for all of you watching, hope you have a wonderful time as well. Thank you for being part of the channel. You are just by watching, whether you comment or not. Please hit like if you haven't yet. And we will be, of course, back with watch along, match reaction, score predictions, and there's 2 big interviews coming up very soon. You do not want to miss those. Cheers.